Hey everyone, I just want to thank our sponsor, HostGator. HostGator is bringing you film talk as it does every time. Every time we do a film talk, HostGator is there. They are a leading provider of shared, resold VPS and dedicated hosting solutions. They have award-winning support available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat, any which way you can think of, maybe even carrier pigeon, who knows? You can discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator and use HostGator. And if you would like to sign up for a new hosting package, which you should, you can use the coupon code GAMEITALL and receive 25% off your first hosting plan.
Hey Jennifer, you don't know me yet, and actually I don't even know you. My name is Spencer, and I'm making a movie, and I want you, Jennifer, to be the star. It's called To Jennifer, and it's gonna be something really special for you and me. Jennifer, I'll see you soon.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Film Talk here on GameItAll.com. With me here this week, this is not a weekly thing, whatever.
Nice.
With me here now is writer, director, star of To Jennifer, which you can see in the background there, a lovely poster. Hunter Johnson, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Brandon. I really appreciate you having me on your show.
And technology be damned, we made it happen.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
So first up, I want to mention the film To Jennifer is available on a number of platforms. Vudu, Amazon, iTunes, I believe you said.
Yeah, for sure. We just dropped on iTunes, YouTube streaming, some pay-per-view channels. Vudu should be coming any day now. We're just waiting for that to drop. It might have already done it. Yeah, but we should be pretty much in a lot of places in North America.
Awesome. And in Canada, which is where I'm emanating from, I guess, you can also check it out on Rogers Cable. If any of you have Rogers, you can just go to the on-demand service and you can purchase it right on there, right on your TV. So yeah, why don't we just start out, just tell us a little bit about the film and the plot, and yeah, just basically about the film.
Cool. To Jennifer is a quasi-sequel to James Cullen Bressack's 2013 movie, To Jennifer, which is T.O. Jennifer. James's movie is about a guy who's obsessed with catching his girlfriend cheating on him in the act. So he goes on a cross-country trip, recording on his iPhone to try to catch her. Our movie takes a similar approach, but with a different angle. It's actually about a guy named Spencer who is obsessed with James's film. So he goes on a cross-country journey to make a sequel to James's movie. And he recruits his buddy who lives in Los Angeles to help him out with it, and goes on a quest to find the perfect actress to play the Jennifer role. And needless to say, things get hairy. Spencer's intentions are not quite as wholesome or good as he leads people on, and shit gets pretty wild at the end of the film.
And so it's interesting because it's a sequel, but it's kind of a different take on a sequel. Like normally you see just like a straight, just a straight sequel. Because James is also the producer on this film, right?
Yeah, James was one of our executive producers. He obviously was vital to getting the movie made, and yeah, so he liked the idea. He plays himself in the movie. We have a handful of actors that are playing characters, myself included, and we have a handful of actors playing themselves or characters of themselves. And James was a great sport about it. He was a great sport about it, and we put him through a little bit of hell shooting the movie too, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I was gonna mention that later, but now that you mentioned it now, I'll bring it up. At the fact that you have James and a few other people playing themselves. I just love how you're doing that like Hollywood parody portrayal of them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, totally.
Everybody's doing blow off the table and.
You know, it's funny because that wasn't written in the script, but James is like, I really think my character should be like doing a bunch of coke, and I'm like, fuck it, yeah, sure, let's do it. That sounds great. So, he is a character of himself. Everybody was a great sport. So it is a Hollywood kind of party, but that's not, James is not a crazy cokehead. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a trend I've been noticing lately, even in like mainstream films too. Like you have like the example with Michael Cera, right, and doing as a crazy cokehead in This Is the End, and
yeah,
James playing himself as a cokehead party animal.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. It's fun though.
So I gotta ask then, how did this first happen? Did you already know James from before? Did you meet him because of the original movie, or?
It's actually kind of funny. There's a little bit of truth to this movie in the sense that I was a big James Cullen Bressack fan. Oh shit, I lost my video. Sorry about that, brother. I was a big James Cullen Bressack fan prior to ever meeting him. I have a website, lahorror.com, that I set up when I came out to Los Angeles, just because I knew I wanted to make horror movies and meet people making horror movies and network. And so I reviewed James's film to Jennifer for the site when it came out, and I loved it. I thought it was fucking brilliant and a really, really cool example of what you can do as a filmmaker with very limited resources. So it was very inspiring, just overall. So I ended up meeting James on a set of a music video, for an artist called Borgor. So I just came out and did some extra work and got to meet him. And eventually, a couple years down the road or whatever, he ended up hiring me to work as an associate producer on 2 films. One is called Restoration, that's directed by Zach Ward, that's out now on DVD and all over the place, and one that's called Bethany that James directed, which is coming out soon, which is going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait. So when we were in production on those, I kind of offhandedly mentioned to James, I'm like, hey, James, like, would you ever like do a sequel to one of your movies? And he's like, well, I would be open to it, but I don't want to do it myself. And I'm like, okay, well, let me give you a pitch for a sequel to Jennifer, just because I knew that I'd be able to shoot the movie for, next to nothing in terms of budget, and it was something that could realistically be done. So once we wrapped on those 2 projects, I sent him a 1-page treatment, and he read it, and he liked it. He said, yeah, dude, go for it. And when I sent him the script, it's funny, I don't think he quite realized that I had plans to put him in the movie as himself. And not only that the main character is a little bit obsessed with him in a creepy way. So when he read it, he's like, dude, this is kind of fucking weird. Like, are you like fucking gonna kill me if I say that you can't do this movie? Like, so it was just kind of funny. That but like I said, he had a great sense of humor about it. He was all about it. And he ultimately gave us the green light, which was fantastic. So yeah, he's an awesome dude to work with, and was really stoked to get an opportunity to kind of put a film into his cinematic universe, which was a lot of fun.
So thankfully, art didn't imitate life 100% in that case.
Yeah, it's funny. The main producer, Frank Merle, had the exact same reaction when I showed him the script, because he didn't know James either. And he read it, and he's like, I'm going to need you to put me in touch with James to make sure that this is on the level, because it seems like it's a little bit fucking weird, fucking creepy. So I want to make sure that James knows that you're actually doing this, because he was also like half kidding, half not, like, do you have permission to do this? Or are you actually like gonna fuck some shit up? But yeah, it was a funny sequence of events, but everyone was a trooper.
It's awesome. And you mentioned now I know too, Jennifer, James's film, he shot that. I don't know Is it 100% that 100% on an iPhone? Is that what?
Yeah, James's film is was shot on the iPhone 5. You know, we shot ours on the iPhone 6. And yeah, our whole movie is shot on a camera phone. Which is fun. It's challenging in aspects and easier in aspects, but yeah, I mean, I was just piggybacking off of James's idea to just get a movie done and get it out there, and we all have cameras in our pockets, so if you want to make a movie, there's no reason not to.
Now you mentioned some issues and like with filming and that stuff. So what were some of the like logistical things that you ran into filming with an iPhone?
The fun part about shooting on an iPhone is that you can get away with a lot more, especially in terms of where you're shooting. We shot at a couple airports. We shot on an airplane. We shot in 2 or 3 different states. And the good thing is you can literally go pretty much wherever you want and just hold up your phone and film, and no one's going to question you. And if they do, you just go, oh, I'm a tourist, I didn't know. So that was fun, that we had freedom to kind of explore different areas that, traditionally you'd have to get a lot of planning into making those happen. The challenges are that we did mostly every scene in one take. There's very few cuts in scenes. So, we'd have like 6-7 page scenes that we would shoot the entire scene for every take. So we would just run the whole scene 3 or 4 times until we got it right. And that was especially challenging in some of the gore scenes because, there's one particular sequence at the end of the film that has several gore effects, and to get those right all in one take without knowing that, oh, we can cut to this camera at this point or we can cut to that camera at that point was very challenging, but it was a hell of a good time too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because in that case, most of the cuts you are able to make pretty much have to be at the end of the scene, right? You can't really cut in between.
Yeah, there's a couple of scenes where we cut in between just for the sake of time, but
Yeah.
when we were shooting it, we shot every scene all the way through every time.
Yeah, like I think there's a few cuts maybe in like the auditions and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
like you mentioned the end scene. I won't go into detail. I won't give it away or anything, but so you shot that last scene. You know the one I'm talking about. You shot that whole thing in one take.
That is the one and only take that we pretty much did of that scene. Yeah, the whole sequence. There are a couple cuts in it because we used multiple cameras, but those cuts were just for the aesthetic. The whole scene was shot in one take, which was pretty fun.
I was gonna say, watching that, I'm just like, how does he get to that? How does he get to that mind frame?
Yeah, we had our actors were really good sports and just being like, all right, guys, it's about to get really weird here. So we all cool. We know what's going on. Like they were, everyone was a really good sport about it.
That's cool. Now, how long did it take from when the script was finished to when shooting was done? How many shooting days did you get?
We had about 10 shooting days. Principal photography was 8 days. My buddy David Koop, who plays Mac in the movie, he's a great actor from Chicago. He flew out specifically to do the role, so he was here for 8 days. And then we had 1 or 2 days where we, where it was just, smaller scenes with like just myself, or like a pickup shot of something that we might have missed. So in total, it was about 10 days of shooting.
Okay. I guess this should have gone back to the earlier thing about the shooting with the iPhone. But I mean, in terms of like lighting and stuff, like, did you have a lot of time to do like setups? Because I know sometimes you said you were in airports and stuff like that where you were kind of filming almost, I don't want to say guerrilla, but almost guerrilla style. And
just guerrilla style.
Totally guerrilla style.
Yeah, for sure.
So did you run into any problems with like lighting or anything like?
I mean, yeah. Obviously a movie like this doesn't have the keynotes and the big setups and everything, but that's fine because that's not the style of the movie. So yeah, we did have to battle, the elements of getting a decent shot, which was a challenge at times because you know, every situation is different. But you know, the iPhone's actually got a really nice camera on it, so it really wasn't that big of a hindrance. But you know, like you were saying, it was totally guerrilla. Like, how can we get this shot looking the best that it can be, and just fucking roll with it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you mentioned your co-star there was already a friend of yours before he came down to do the film. So I'm curious, the casting process then, are most of the cast, were they all people that you knew previously, or did you reach out to kind of get other actors as well?
Laura Jean Mummert, who plays Jennifer, I had not worked with prior, and I didn't know her prior to the film. But I'm so like incredibly lucky that she came on board with this project, just because she is like fucking fantastic. She's an amazing actress. She's gonna be blowing up in the horror scene and bigger scenes for sure. I guarantee it. So she was one that kind of came on, you know, just like, okay, I trust you guys, let's do this. Several of the other actors, for the most part, I knew. You know, the good thing about living in LA is you get to meet a lot of talented people and people that have similar goals and similar ambitions. So for the most part, I knew them. The Jennifer sequence, some of those actors I met pretty much day of. I had worked with Felissa Rose on a previous project and just kind of like cold called her and be like, oh, Felissa, I'm that dude that like was like gushing over you when we met on set that one time. Would you want to like do a day on this little indie movie? And she's like, yeah, for sure. And like, I was so thankful that she did that because I love her. Same with Erin Marie Hogan. She's big in the horror scene, and you know, they were all just really great sports about it, and came out and did it. So it was a mix of people that I had either worked with or people that I was friends with, and a handful of people that kind of just came in and jumped into the project, which was cool.
Well, that was one person I was going to mention. It was Felissa Rose, because the horror fans will know Felissa Rose from or most popular thing I would say was Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, it's one of my absolute favorite movies.
And like, so the first time you met her, were you kind of like, tell me all about Sleepaway Camp? Because I know that's what I would be asking her about.
You know, it's funny because now Felissa and I are actually pretty good friends, which is like still kind of like blows my mind, because I remember the first time I watched Sleepaway Camp in high school, and was just like blown away by it. Just like I said, it's one of my absolute top 10 for sure favorite films of all time. So yeah, it's funny. I've got to pick her brain about Sleepaway Camp. I actually went to a screening that James hosted, where Felissa Rose did a Q&A. So yeah, I've got to pick her brain a lot about Sleepaway Camp, which is like totally like nerdy for me. But yeah, she's a fantastic actress, super cool person, super great to work with. I love Felissa Rose.
That's awesome. That's one I like. I knew that she looked familiar, but I had to look it up after. But that's awesome. That's a good catch for the film. So I wanted to ask as well. Now I know you were sounds like you were on a very tight budget, very tight schedule. So was there a lot of improvisation, or was it very like sticking close to the script for the most part?
You know, it's funny because a lot of people just assume, based on the style of the movie, that a lot of it was improv and a lot of it was just riffing and all that stuff. But we actually had a script that we had a full script that we stuck pretty close to. You know, we'd obviously discover moments while we were running these scenes, and things changed a little bit, but every scene that's in the movie was written on a script, and you know, we knew exactly what we were doing, where these characters were going, and yeah, so that's something that maybe people don't know or don't realize. But yeah, we had a full written script, several drafts that went through the process of getting done, and yeah, so we did shoot it based on a script.
No, that's cool. And well, yeah, because I mean, you're on a 10-day schedule, and like you said, you've got time for maybe pretty much one take for every scene with a little bit of rehearsal before. Actually, you said a little bit of rehearsal. So were you able to do that before, or was that kind of just like on set?
Like I said, my buddy Coop was living in Chicago, so Coop, Laura, and I did several Skype rehearsals prior to filming, which was awesome, just so they could get to know each other because their relationship is really important in the film, and we could kind of play with the scenes and see what was working on the computer. But Coop flew out, and the next day we were filming, so the rehearsal time was pretty limited, but at the same time, like having a script and knowing a shooting schedule, like we knew exactly what what scenes we were going to be filming every day, so that really helped. And everybody that's on the film, while this is like a low budget super indie horror film, everybody on the film is pretty much like either professional actors or filmmakers, so they know the routine. So it's not like people were showing up going, wait, what am I doing again, or what's my line, or anything like that. Like everybody like took it very seriously, which was, oh my goodness gracious, my computer keeps like killing me here. No, so everybody was like super on top of their game and believed in the project, and hopefully it shows in the final cut.
Yeah, and like what people don't realize too is when you have a movie with such a tight schedule and such a tight budget, the actors absolutely have to know their lines like 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Which was like, yeah, and like I said, everybody was super on point with that, which I cannot thank everybody enough. Because yeah, you're right. Like shooting indie films is hard. Like is super hard, especially if people don't know what's going on. So yeah, I was really thankful that we had such an amazing team that was just all in on it.
Got a nice mascot back there.
Oh yeah, dude, that's my buddy Bandit. He's a good dude. He loves Two Jennifer, as you can see.
Yeah, he's a big fan. It looks like.
Yeah.
So now I'll ask you then. Do you have anything? Well, I imagine you do. But what do you have planned in the future? Anything you're doing, kind of individual, or like with James again, or?
Yeah, several things actually, which is a lot of fun. We wrapped up principal production on a film I produced and acted in with Charles Chudabala, who plays Charlie in Two Jennifer. He was one of the producers and co-stars, and it's directed by a buddy of mine named Aaron Mento. It's called Ugly Sweater Party. It's like a horror comedy Christmas movie that's just fucking like balls to the wall insane. I can't describe how crazy it is. It's going to be like unlike anything anyone's seen. Like it's super crazy. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So we're in post on that. We've got Sean Whalen from People Under the Stairs in it, which I'm really super stoked about. And he was amazing to work with. So we're in post on that one. So hopefully we'll have a teaser or a trailer coming very soon, which I'm super stoked. And then my next film as a director is going to be a revenge horror film called Serena Waits that we're shooting next month, actually, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be super nasty. It's going to crank it up to another level of grossness and hopefully upset some people. So it should be fun.
That's what you want to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. Well, hey, I want to thank you very much for stopping by, for dealing with the technology there over the past few days.
Oh, dude, trust me, I know how it goes, man. I fight with my computer all the time.
But yeah, anyway, I want to reiterate again, guys, you can check out Two Jennifer on a lot of different providers. You said Vudu coming up soon, also Amazon, iTunes. For those of you in Canada, you can check it out on Rogers Cable. And I'm missing any of them? Any other ones?
No, I don't think so. We'll be on DVD in October 11th as well. So yeah, we'll have a DVD out there too.
Oh, not bad. Pretty good timing. Right, a couple weeks before Halloween. Not bad.
Yeah. Hopefully, it should be a Halloween fun one for people.
Awesome. Well, hey, I want to thank you very much again, and good luck with the movie.
Dude, Brandon, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure.
All right, dude. Take care.
You too.